So guys, we're back at it again with another Axolotl video. So, it began as a simple daily distraction from research. Nowadays, a welcome break to check in with the other two residents of the tank and maybe play a couple games with them. But that hour soon evolved into 2, into 3, into 4, and even more as the days began to pass. The game sessions started becoming more fun, more competitive, and somehow the days themselves started to seem brighter as a result. Alright, I almost had you there, Lana. Just one more round. This time I'll definitely come out victorious. The days passed by leisurely. Leisurely? I don't say leisure, but it is. The more fun they had during the day, the quicker it seemed to pass. My mouse is about to die, so let's unplug that. Plug in that. Nope, wrong way. There we go. And then plug in that. No, come on. Come on. There it goes. As your game became more energetic, competitive, and complex, you began wanting to create some of his own. He wanted to create something from his memories. Something which could be used to play a multitude of games. His books had reminded him that this item had existed. If we got the pile of plants into identical squares and assign markings to each piece, we could make a standard deck of 52 cards. Then, all of a sudden, our game options are quadrupled, at the very least. Finally, I can whoop your butt at cards too. Soon enough, they began to dabble in more than just playing games together. They started to use the plants in more exciting, innovative ways. What if we make some more of these in different colors and place them on the west end of the tank? Give the tank a little more color. Eventually, Neil started thinking of recreational things he wanted to do with the plants in his spare time too. Inventions, walkways, banner. Why do you need walkways? Word art. The whole world, which seems so bare, was suddenly his canvas. Since the plants were essentially endless in number, he could see in his mind's eye a wide array of possibilities for every single section of the tank. But it wasn't as though Neil had forgotten about the messages, about the void, home, or about RB. I'm cornered, though. I've run out of options for now. I'll just bide my time until the idea hits me. While the discovery of a renewable resource initially seemed promising, nothing had worked out like he had hoped. Everything he immediately wanted to test using the plants had been tested, and now all that was left was to observe their growth patterns. There were times when he regretted telling off RB in front of Hank, and there were other times that he regretted telling Axolotl about the riddle. But coming game time, none of that seemed to matter so much. Why don't we expand our workspace a little? We've got an entire tank to work with as territory. However amazing the day was, the middle of the night often brought back those cold existential nightmares. Feelings of never being able to return. Feelings of complacency, of giving up. The pointlessness of this life he was now living. And sometimes, like that, there's no way it would fly in his mind. That damn void always stood in the center of the tank, taunting him, making fun of him. Sometimes he could hear it speaking to him. I see you there, Neo. Watching and waiting. You want to jump in, don't you? I know you do. What are you afraid of? Actually, you can swim in here just fine. You can, but as he had vehemently refused. It was still too touchy a subject to bring up. Easily to have. Convincing him to donate some skin was out of the question. Sending him into the void. Impossible. Right now, at least. The more I think about it, the less options I seem to have. Just remember, there's no rush, Neo. There's no ticking time bomb dictating our lives here. And there's certainly nothing wrong with spending time with your friends. But then, why did it feel so uncomfortable to be unproductive? Today was a special sort of day. Westward expansion was in full effect. They were pleased with all the work they had done in Lana's Corner, so they decided to move on to laying down groundwork for several new large-scale projects around the tank. All of their supplies, all of their tools, everything they had set up so far was on the right side of the tank. So it only made sense that the first area they would focus their efforts on beautifying would be the area next to their home base, William's old corner.
Is this really okay? What if he somehow comes back? I've still got hope, you know. It hasn't been forever just yet.
Hey, it's not like we're planning on demolishing this place. We're just gonna spruce it up, is all. And besides, maybe he'd even like our changes if he came back. Though I can't be sure of that, of course. I agree, again. He'd adore our changes. And hey, if he really comes back and doesn't dig it, then we can just tear it all down. Boom boom, bang bang. We'll just smash it all down like a piñata on Groundhog Day.
Yeah, I guess. Something doesn't feel right. We talked about it a little bit before, but what if, instead of decorations, we use this part of the tank to make a tribute to him instead? We got a whole rest of the tank for some of the... Jeez, we've got the whole rest of the tank for some of the other plans that we've been discussing, haven't we?
You know, Lana, gotta be honest. I really like the sound of that. A tribute for our fallen friend is a nice gesture. It's be a beautiful idea. Oh man, my mind is running on all cylinders now. I know, our tribute is gonna be huge. With fully animatronic arms and a head that bows and shoots water at every hour on the dot.
Well, I don't know about all that. How about we start a little smaller and make a statue of him instead? The point of it is, I don't want to forget him. I don't want to forget the way he looked or the way he acted. I don't want to forget him, no matter what. And if he had a tribute here, we could visit him whenever we want. Whenever we have something on our minds to say to him.
Yeah, that would be nice. There's been a few things on my mind lately that I wish I could have said to him while he was here.
And don't worry about running out of space. There's plenty of room for all sorts of wacky gizmos, buildings, and whatever else around the tank.
Oh, trust me, I've been thinking the same thing.
So,
A tribute it shall be. If only. So, we'll never forget. Hey, if you guys want to never forget, all I have to do is make them huge. Axie's expression suddenly faltered. I miss him too, you know. A lot. I never really knew how much until recently. It felt like we were only just starting to know each other. If there was a way we could have spent more time together, I'd take an opportunity like that in a heartbeat.
Actually, I never knew. So, I guess it's settled then. A nice big statue.
Well, if we want to make it a full set structure, and not a simple decoration, then it could take years.
The best part is that we have years. Heck, until someone tells us otherwise, we have forever. Remember, there's no rush.
You're right. Okay then, first things first. Let's talk about the elephant in the room. What are we going to do with the rock?
Well, of course we can't get rid of the rock. Save a giant effort. We agreed on no major reconstruction, remember?
In many ways, to all of them, the rock was the last part of William's remaining. They even buried his arm, the one Egghead ripped off on his hook. I thought he ripped off both. Like, did he not rip off both? Because I remember him saying he ripped off one. And then I swear it said it ripped off the other one. No, it didn't say it, but then when they were going in, it said both arms were ripped off. I don't know. I got it. What if we incorporated the rock into the design of our statue? It's theoretically possible to make the vines from the base of the tribute stick out from under the rock. In my humble opinion, it might create a pretty cool effect.
I love it. We'll put some plants underneath and then start building the base of the mold right away.
We could even start on that part today. Of course, there is a small hiccup to this plan. In order to incorporate the rock in our design, we'll have to lift it up off the ground. That might seem like an impossible task, but you are dealing with a genius here. I've been thinking about how to deal with problems like these, and for that, we need to use the forces of gravity. Leverage and leverage. Oh, leverage. We need leverage, my friends. Neo took him to the drawing board in his lab to explain his plan in detail. And so, for the next 2 days, they tied plans together to make a harness. Make the harness idea, which he told them about in reality. Jesus Christ. Hey, I think it's ready. It's ready. Finally it's ready. Yes. And it's a real beaut, too. If it really lifts the rock, then perhaps we could use the harness for other tasks in our construction, too. Alright, are you guys ready? When I lift this rock up, you guys are going to place the tied row of plants below, just like we planned, okay? I'm ready, Spaghetti. Why'd you go from Spaghetti to Egghead? I don't know.
I'm ready too. Just remember to be careful, you guys.
I agree. Safety first. Okay, that's calm. Are you all in position? Then I'm pulling on the lever. The rock rose from its perpetual spot for the first time ever. Go, guys. Go, go, go. It's secure. Lay down the foundation. What's the hold up? What are you guys staring at?
Neo, there's something down here.
Uh-oh. Let me grab this thing.
Huh? What is it, Axie?
Something was under the rock after all this time. Alright. Move out of the way. I'm putting the lid down. So, what sort of thing did you guys find? It looks like a helmet of sort. This has to be a video game. Wow. A WOM. Huh. Let me see it. What are you turning again? Let's just put this baby on and... Ooh, snuggly. Alright, what do we have here? Boot and log in, huh? Well, I'll see the password is... The password must be peanut butter. What? That wasn't it. Who the heck doesn't like peanut butter? And what's this big red message? 4 login attempts remaining, huh? Axie, let me see that. I'll do it now.
Axie, I think this thing might be Monia's specialty.
Psh, you peons really think you can outclass video game champion Axie the Axolotl? But right, I can see that expression. How? You have the VR goggles on. Here you go, egghead. Finally. This must be the answer I've been waiting for. After all this time, it's really here. I gotta go to the lab. Examine the scene in full. Just like that. As though it were a flicker light switch, Neil left their company in full-blown research mode. You know, Nana, it's really not that fair. We all found it, not just him. That darn kid better not be playing any video games without me. Oh boy, I can't wait to bomb some Dodongos. Or defeat Dr. Robotnik. Or save Planet Pupstars. Heck, maybe I'll even become a... Stop using these puzzles champion. What do you think, Lana?
I just get worried is all. I don't want them falling down that lonely rabbit hole of this again.
In the end, this is all there is. A plain login screen and a keyboard to input a password. Nothing more. It's a good find. And important find. That has helped me achieve my goal. But there simply isn't much to do isn't much to do in this thing. Not unless I want to risk entering a password. You need to take action. 4 attempts remaining. He didn't own the tools to take apart the headset, although he reckoned that with a little elbow grease, doing that might not be impossible. For fear of accidentally breaking it, he wanted to make sure all of the options he had available to him were accounted for first. I hope this thing doesn't run out of juice, but something tells me that those rules don't apply here either. I guess I should try entering a password. Perhaps it could be... Let me try home. That wasn't it. Did I just waste a valuable opportunity? 3 attempts left. I should proceed with much more caution from this point onwards. Who knew what would happen if he ran out of login attempts? I might be locked out of the headset for good. Or I could explode. Oh, Oxy. Hey.
Hiya.
Hi there, I get. You didn't show up today, so I thought I'd stop by and check on you. But to think you were playing video games this whole time. You didn't share with me. Shame. I'm not playing video games, Oxy. Researching. Trying to figure out what the hell this thing is. It's a video game. What else do you need to figure out? The password for one. Oh, let me try. I bet it's somersault. You already gave it a try before, remember? And I just did too. From now on, we need to be really careful with our guesses. Well, we all found it, right? Shouldn't we all have a turn at putting in the password? That is, well, that's fair, I suppose.
I don't need to put it in the password. I couldn't even venture to guess what a theoretical password would be. To a random virtual reality headset we found in a rock. So don't worry about me.
Oh, Nana, you're here too, huh?
Yeah, it is past the time we normally meet after all. What else would I be doing?
Ah, my bad. Well, okay then. Alright, let's go. I've been examining this thing all day, and I'm pooped. Well, I'll think of something later. Right now, it's time to have fun with my friends.
Really?
Yeah, it's not like I'll get anything meaningful accomplished by staring at some login screen all day. The weird snow in the background is kind of pretty though, I must admit. Hooray! Actually, the harness is still set up in the same place as yesterday, right? Well then, I think we should finish what we started. Make sure we get the vines under the rock so we can start doing the nitty-gritty work on the tribute.
I'm proud of you, Neil. It sounds like you started to find a healthy work-life balance.
Like you said, this says it isn't going nowhere, and neither am I. But actually, you have to promise me not to put it behind my back, doing stuff like inputting weird passes without consulting me. According to this, there are only 3 tries left to us, so I want to be very deliberate with the guesses from now on. Oh yeah, no worries again, but you definitely gotta let me know if you get any games working on there. Yeah. Well then, shall be off. I just need to put this in a safe place first. As if the only thing Lana could do is smile from ear to ear. Your fears of Neo succumbing to the madness of his obsession again, or for not. As the weeks turned into months, her smile got brighter and brighter, until the day that the void started rumbling, and the dynamic of the tank was changed yet again. Baby time. After the VR fiasco, several months passed without issue. Work resumed on the tribute. Progress was leisurely, but nobody could deny that the statue was starting to resemble Liam more and more each day. When they weren't working, they spent their time in collaborating. They were on a roll, creating board games and card games of every shape, every genre, and every size. Frequently, they would take the time to enjoy the fruits of their labor, playing against each other in competition, and bouncing ideas off each other for future projects they wished to make. The contrast between playing and construction felt refreshing. It made their days have a spark of variety that was sorely missed from before. A day could start with them doing one thing, and then completely transform into them doing something totally different by the end. Organically, a new tradition started emerging as well. They began gathering during the night and reading each other's stories from the numerous books which kept Neo in his lab. As for the VR login screen, no progress was made on that front. Neo had long pages of notes, of possible passwords, and various ideas he wished to try out in the future. But frankly, he didn't have enough confidence to act on any such plan yet. Eventually he would have enough confidence to try out something, and like Anna said, there was no indication that he needed to rush out an answer. Until then, it looked like things were going well. The three of them had found a rhythm, and they meant to keep it. But the Void had something to say about that. It was on this day, in the second year of their not yet finalized calendar, that something totally unexpected occurred. That very afternoon, Neo was explaining the rules of an intricate tabletop game we should play in the future with everyone. We're almost ready to start our adventure. Just 3 more characters sheets left to D&D. It took them this long to come up with D&D. At first, he thought he might have been hearing things again. He was obsessed for so long. There was still a part of him that yearned to go home more than anything. Sometimes, while he was resting in his lab, he'd wake up in a cold sweat, thinking he had heard the rumblings of the void. But the sound had been an illusion these past 2 years. A trick played by the mind. So then it must have been another trick, this time too. The looks on his friends' faces confirmed otherwise. That remarkable sound was something he was likely to never forget. Just like that, Neil's passion and anxiety, which had been dormant, sprang back to life. There was scarcely a word spoken, as they hurried off to the void. The white lightning that was raging hard again, the old specter come to life. They had not talked about what they would do if the void had started working again. Axolotl had purposely avoided the subject. Neo was fixated on the noise. He found his hand shaking against his will. It had been a normal day, a relaxing day, and yet all of a sudden he was confronted with something utterly life-changing.
Something is about to happen, isn't it? Our lives were just starting to become fun. Is something really about to ruin all that?
That's why we need to be ready for anything. Hank, Liam, Bobby. Anything could come out of this damn thing. Axie had his fighting stance ready. If Hank had really come back to finish him and his friends off, he would defeat him this time for good. They focused their attention on the section of the void which was rumbling most intensely. Something is seriously moving in there. It looks like something that's alive. It can't be. The shape of an axolotl emerged from the void. No, not just one axolotl, but two. And the third one appeared. As they came into focus, Leo realized a few important things about them. They're scary as fuck. These were not Liam or Ankh, but completely new axolotls that he did not recognize. They were small too, with vacant eyes and plastidon expressions that reminded him of the dolls. Oh no, kid voices. Well... yeah! The one middle made a weird noise. Yeah! What? What are they? Should be wood. What are you trying to pull, Albie?
Look, small and helpless. I think they might be children, Leo.
Yeah!
Babies, even.
As he looked unsure, he hadn't yet lowered his guard.
Hey there, kids. Can you talk? You guys have names.
Yeah!
Going to take that as a no then. Maybe they're too young to speak. Or is Riya's name?
The one to the left made an effort to swim over to them. He awkwardly shifted his eyes toward her, then to himself, then to her again. How do you even, like, say that in a human voice?
Lee. Do you mean to say that you are?
Yeah, however much you pronounce that. It almost seemed to nod at that, but she wasn't sure. This can't be Liam, can it? I mean, they're the same color.
I don't know. He sure is a cutie. Cute. Yours cute, but it still works. Anyway, if this is Liam, then do you have names as well?
The one to her right stepped forward. Still not sure how you pronounce but how do they step? They're in water. I guess it's E. Oh no, that's not. I don't believe it.
Hey, anything is possible, right?
But Hank? Him? So what? What now? Do we lock this guy up?
He hasn't done anything. I won't stand for it.
There's this guy over here too. If he's not the two we know, then who is he? Hi, little dude. What's your name again? Yeah.
You hear his little cry. Yeah, such a dang cutie.
What happened to his eyes? Ah, what happened to all their eyes? I hate these things. They're creepy.
So we've got Lee, and Riya. Aren't they absolutely adorable?
But what the hell is this? Can't they say any more words? The baby. Oh.
They're babies, of course not. And don't cuss in front of the children.
Don't have that expression. No. It's scary. I don't like their faces. Riya.
Oh, he's all tuckered out. They're all tired, aren't they?
Going through the void. It is no easy task. Oh, look at that. They're all cuddled together, sleeping. My heart is melting.
So cute. So precious. This new environment must be exhausting for the little tykes. We should whip them up a plant bucket real quick.
So, what is this? What is I'll be doing putting these guys in here? Ria made a low growling noise as he snored. What are we gonna do now?
What do you mean?
I mean, what do we do with them?
Of course. Oh, wait, totally forgot.
Then we'll raise them. Yeah, and if they didn't already have names, they'd be named Axie Jr., Axie Jr. the second, and Axie Jr. the third. But since they already got names, it's okay.
Neo, please. They're not something you can study or experiment on. They're just children.
But there has to be some reason they showed up. It's no coincidence. They're Hank and Liam reborn, aren't they? They must be.
I hope so.
I don't know. I guess. All we can do now is wait until they wake up and see what happens. I think we'll be waiting a little while again. These guys are completely KO'd. Axie was right. The next time they woke up, 23 hours would have passed. Surprisingly, the appearance of the 3 Axolotl babies did not change the dynamic of their lives as much as they initially expected. They were zero maintenance children. Oftentimes, the 3 adults forgot that the babies were even there. This was due to one simple thing. They slept. They slept the great lion's share of the day away. What does it even mean? At first, Lana had been concerned. Was it another name type situation? Were they sick with something causing them to have massive fatigue? As time would tell, I'm getting a text. Sure, I am wanting lunch. Anyway, as time would tell, this was not the case. It was just in their nature to sleep. Lana, Neo, and Axie. All of them only slept only a couple hours each night. That's all they needed. Had the babies. They would cuddle together on the floor with their eyes closed for 22 hours straight at a time. It was the only odd thing about their circadian. Oh look, more texts. Usual rhythms. After 20 hours of sleep, they would awaken, but only for a single hour. Oh look, another text. Cool. But that hour was all the time they seemed to want to be awake for on any given day. It was all their bodies seemed to take, collapsing together into a deep slumber afterwards. They start the 24-hour process all over again. I still don't like them. They're creepy. They're only an hour awake, though. It was incredibly eventful. Dang, what a bunch of rambunctious creatures. Reminds me of a certain special someone, back during the summer of his youth. Hey, go back here, you. Even Axie, the fastest swimmer of the adults, was unable to catch him at first, boundless as they were. In their hour, they'd zip and zoom across the whole tank at will, an uncontrollable force that resembled a hurricane. At one point, Neo decided to track their movements for a few weeks. He concluded, through various points of data, that they went around the entire tank 3 times on average during that hour. The only time they'd stop sprinting would be to eat. Eat? The three of them made sure to feast every day, sometimes spending up to 10 minutes of their hour doing so. What did they eat? Well, of course, they ate the plants growing right off the floor. They only ate the plants on their own terms, though. And I tried a couple times to hand them plants right out of her hand, but they always refused. And you set up a couple bowls of fancy-looking plants next to the places where they rested, but when they woke up, the kids always passed them up. Eating them fresh off the tank's floor was the only way they would satisfy them. The days were as such: sleep, run around, eat, sleep again. They lead simple lives. They didn't seem to pay Axie, Hana, and Neo any mind at all. Over the following decades? There were a myriad number of ways in which the adults attempted to bond with the kids, to no avail. One particular day of note, near their birth, Neo decided to sit down with them during their meal. In his hand was some notes. He spent a considerable amount of time the last several days writing and rewriting them. Attention, Lee and Ria. Today we will be starting soon. Welcome to the first day of class. I'll be your teacher. Call me Mr. Neo from now on. I prepared these materials so that we could do about 10 minutes of work a day while you're eating. Does that sound great? We'll start off with some very basic lessons and work our way up from there. Maybe we'll even outdoor some time to 15 minutes a day and get acclimated to this new routine. Any questions? No? Then let's begin the first day of the rest of your lives. First of all, learning is a series of building blocks. You'll learn to communicate and blah blah blah. Blah 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 blah. Now it's time to learn the human alphabets. It's what you blah will you need in order to blah. A, blah, C, blah blah blah. He was scarcely less than a fourth of the way through his song before he got interrupted. His face was green. They'd spat a giant amount of plants on him. That kind of behavior will not be tolerated in this class. Hey, where are you going? Three of them sped off to eat in a different area. They were watching up.
Leave the little kiddies alone for now. They're just babies after all. They've only got an hour a day to enjoy life anyway. Maybe you can tutor them in the future.
I am curious about it.
Maybe you can tutor them in the future. When they get older. When they start to stay up longer.
Yeah.
What's wrong with you?
There's nothing.
Come on, tell me. No secrets between us anymore, remember?
Yeah, you're right. It's just the headset that we found and the kids. Something is going on. Why did we find them? Knowing what little I know about them, there must be a reason. There's something I'm missing. There must be.
Sometimes I wonder as well. Why do you turn them into those two?
I don't think they're.
Either way, the babies certainly are an object which you can treat as research.
I know. It's just, they came from the void. What do you think, Leo? You think that they have anything to do with the headset?
Were you thinking of the usual? Were you thinking of using the names as the password for the login screen?
Well, I don't know, but that doesn't feel right to me. There's only a couple of characters we can enter, remember?
You're right. Before I hadn't given it much mind, but the more I think about it, the headset is pretty interesting, isn't it?
Really? I'm surprised to hear that from you. I thought you hated that kind of stuff.
Not at all. The more I hear about the human world, the more serious it sounds. I love to see it sometimes. What I do hate is when you overwork yourself. when you neglect your body without even realizing it.
Yeah. But it's been better lately, hasn't it? Alright. So yeah, it has been better lately, hasn't it?
Absolutely it has. Like I said before, I'm so proud of your progress. That's why I want you to help with your research. That's why I want to help with your research in any way you can.
To be frank, right now, there's not a lot you can help me with. The research has taken a backseat due to all of the construction.
Well, if there's any way I can help you in the future, let me know. You know where to find me. You might be right, by the way.
About what?
Well, the stuff that'll be. The kids. The notes. It's all so weird. There probably is more to our existence as you summarize. Is your ultimate goal still getting home?
This tank with you guys. I've only realized it recently, but this is my home now, too.
I feel the same way. But this other home of yours is in the human world, isn't it?
Yeah, I don't know what it looks like exactly, but I still want to go back there. A part of me yearns for it, and likely always will. The human world is so vast compared to our little tank.
I bet it is. Just like those brilliant books we've been reading before bed. I wouldn't mind visiting some of the settings those books are based off of sometime.
You like the books, huh? I'm glad so many of them came in before the void stopped moving. Which is your favorite thus far?
Oh, definitely the short story about the rich dude, Simone Cress, and his strange alien pets. I was on the edge of my seat the whole time. Oh, and the mystery story we read. You know, the crewing with the group of friends and the cicadas.
Is that referencing those who cry? Huh.
I was shocked when they reviewed what was happening behind the scenes. There's been a ton of good ones so far. The one we're reading right now, with the shy little bird who says, "Tingle Tingle Horn," is shaped to be a favorite of mine too.
I don't know what that's referencing.
Anyway, the triplets should be getting back to sleep soon. Oh, look at that, Axie. Oh, look at Axie. That goofball can't stop chasing them even though he knows he can't win. Let's catch up in a minute or two, and wish them a good night. Maybe we could work on the memorial for the rest of the day. We're pretty close to finishing it.
Yes, we are. Hey Lana, regarding that, there's an idea I've been sort of mulling over lately.
Oh? What sort of idea?
It's nothing that big. Maybe when we're done with the statue, we could have a memorial service to remember Liam by.
A memorial service, huh? Yeah, I think that's a good idea too. I never, ever want to forget the old Liam. Let's do it. I bet Axie would like the idea too.
As an aside to that, I've also been working on getting a personal project together. It's called a counter. It's a counter, so we can keep track of time. Maybe we can use it to create our very own holidays too.
Our very own holidays, huh? I think I'd like that, Mia. I think I'd like that a lot.
They're starting to become happy. Truly happy. After the memorial service, they began focusing on their calendar. And time began marching onwards.